New from Vinegar Syndrome is The Prophecy on 4K. Now, it'd been a long while since I had seen these films and I was eager to jump back into them, primarily because the cast is pretty phenomenal. You've got Christopher Walken, Elia Koteatis, Adam Goldberg, Amanda Plummer, Eric Stoltz, Virginia Madsen, a whole host of terrific names. And this is a story all about the battle between heaven and hell. We have angels who are on earth vying for a soul which will tip the balance between one side or the other.
You found it, haven't you? You can't keep it from us, Simon!
Eric Stoltz plays Simon, and we have Christopher Walken as Gabriel. The good, the bad, vying off against each other, hunting for this soul to see who can win this war that's been going on for millennia. There are many things about this which are incredibly fun. Most notably the performances of Christopher Walken, which is great. Viggo Mortensen, who pops up in the last third of the movie to really kind of challenge Walken's performance to go, I can go a little bit wackier than you can, sir. Check this out. And you get these terrific action set pieces. There's one in a room with an attack, which is pretty good. You get the idea of these angels kind of watching the earth, taunting humans. There is this terrific idea of Gabriel stealing people just as they're about to move on to the afterlife, keeping them in a perpetual state of in between death and life, and forcing them to do his bidding as they just want to go towards that beautiful sight that they saw as they were dying. It adds a little bit of levity to the film.
Hi! Don't start. I hate that.
On the other hand, we have the kind of human characters here which are kind of fun as well. You get Elia Koteatis as Dagget, a man who was about to be inducted into the cemetery, about to become a priest, when he kind of had a crisis of conscience, having this vision as he was being brought into the fold, and kind of turned his back on it. We don't see what happens in between. All we know now is he is a hard-boiled detective, taking no nonsense, smoking and just dropping religious rhetoric whenever he possibly can. It's a weird dichotomy of a role, of a character, and I kind of liked most of it.
It's not about humans. It's about God. What do you know about that, you monkey?
One thing that I just wasn't keen on here was a lot of the music. It does lean into a kind of religious motif that feels more serious than the rest of the material is. It's a kind of story of angels battling it out on earth. It can be fun.
You gotta come work for me. Upstairs. I could get you in now. You love it. Nobody tells you when to go to bed. You eat all the ice cream you want. You get to kill all day.
It conjures up the idea of a kind of genre fun film, but it tries to add a level of seriousness into this one, which I don't think completely works. In fact, it almost detracts and adds a little bit of languidness to the film whenever we get these long drawn out sequences of people discussing religion, the themes of the music, looking somber at the horizon, where you're just like, get to the good stuff. Look at the actors you've got. Look at the story you've got. Get to some of the more fun elements which we know you have ready waiting for us. Now, there are moments where it can be pretty fun, but they're just few and far between in this one. A lot of what brings me back to this is the performances, the fun idea of what they are doing here. They're obviously in a very playful nature, being a little bit silly, and it works most of the time.
Shh. She won't feel anything, honest. I have to rip her apart, of course. It's just the way it goes. See, Simon hid Hawthorne's soul inside her. I need it.
I feel a little bit bad for Virginia Madsen, who is the most stable of all the characters here. A teacher who's drawn into this battle, who is almost drawn along as the straight person to everyone else's silly nature. And she does perfectly fine, but it just feels like a character that's not really fledged out and is there to kind of push the story along a little bit. There are some interesting sequences which I think work. Some of the special effects are particularly great, but on the other hand there are some that don't work, which look a little bit ham-fisted and not perfect as I would have hoped.
But like all true love, one day it withered on the vine.
The Prophecy was an interesting film which I don't think completely works. It doesn't stop it from being entertaining, it doesn't make it unwatchable, it just makes it a little bit tonally inconsistent, but I can live with that. I'm hoping that the sequels will delve more into genre and become a little bit sillier as they go along, but I just can't remember them at all. In fact, what I could remember all came from the first film, so I'm eager to check out the other two and see what they have to offer. I'd love to know your thoughts on The Prophecy. Did you love it, hate it, fall somewhere in the middle? Well, let me know in the comment box below. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff, and in the description box below are links to Patreon, membership program, and manvfilm.com, all ways in which you can support me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.